What's going on, y'all? You already know it's J Faith. We got episode 101 in the books ready for y'all. If you are from the Massachusetts area, the New England area, or even the tri-state area, you already know our upcoming guests. We got 978 dancehall legend C Scharp in the building, here dropping just straight gems for this podcast. We're super excited for you to hear what we talk about, discuss, share, and laugh. So stay tuned, episode 101, right here for you on the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. What's up?
I need you here right now. I need you calling my name. I want you all in my space. I need you right beside me. I need you here right now. I need you calling my name. I want you all in my space. I need you right beside me.
What? Oh, the green.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm tired from a very long day.
Have it.
Have at it. What?
What's up?
She wants me
Someone
to
leading in prayer.
lead
And it's
in
not going to
prayer.
be me. What's that?
Are we holding hands?
I know.
You cool with that? I don't want to like push anybody into. I don't like. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to like do
J
that.
Faith, I mean,
Self-explanatory. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. We just thank you for allowing us to be here in your presence. Thank you for just bringing all of these beautiful people here today, Lord. We thank you for just waking us up, opening our eyes to a new day, a new opportunity. We just ask that you lead, that you guide this podcast today, guide the conversations. Let it glorify your name. Let it help inspire other people to grow in whatever it is they are doing. Even if they are not creators, Father, we all need some uplifting in this crazy world that we are living in right now. So we just pray that you just guide this conversation, that you be with us, Lord, for the glory and the honor of your name. Thank you, Lord, in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I led prayer the other day when Ashley cooked dinner.
Did you?
It was 2 sentences.
Oh, yeah, because you decided to dip your fingers into it first.
Shut up. I really am always like eating first, and then I'm like,
Manners.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know. Then your wife yells at me. She's like, you always eat first. I'm like, I really do.
Yeah, we pulled Fast and Furious rules. You first one to dig in
I get it.
says grace. So it is what it is. Yeah, silence your phone. God.
My-
Like, be a professional.
I'm trying. Well, this one's on his phone openly. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Who, me? Who?
Sorry, I had to get you involved because he yelled at me.
Kayla's the one that throws other people under the bus. Just so
So
she doesn't
fast. You
have to
see
get-
that? How fast I threw him under the bus? Sorry. I love you.
It's all good.
It's hot.
I know.
it wasn't hot in my car. When I walked out here, I'm like, oh, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Welcome
You good?
to Crazy New England.
Cool down here. It's the basement.
Yeah. See, maybe it's just you.
I do have body temperature issues. It's fine. We're rolling, huh?
Oh yeah.
I hate you. Okay.
You should know 100
I know,
episodes, Kayla.
I know.
I mean, 50.
101, right?
Sometimes.
101.
Is it 101? Yes.
So classes in
101.
session 101.
Excited. I'm so
Episode
happy you're
101.
here. Thank you for being our guest today.
Like, move this towards you.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't let it happen.
I mean,
Dude.
Do we need
maybe life
hold
can
something
help.
on it?
101 episodes. And we
Then
still-
it'll really drop on the floor.
Yeah.
If I do
it'll be
anything
Welcome to my life.
with an eye.
Welcome.
That's why I don't sing.
What?
I'm
You
not a-
do? You did on one track?
I'm not
What
a
track was it?
singer. Gotta make it home.
I was like, I listened to your stuff. I'm so sorry. I don't remember the name. I really do listen
half
to
the
your...
time I don't remember.
I was like,
names of
I
my
do
songs
listen
and
to your
that's
music. It's actively on my playlist, but I just forget the whole.
amazing. We're good. We're good.
I'm working with my left hand. I'm alright.
You got it.
Fair.
I like your bracelet.
Do we got sandbags?
The what?
Sandbags to weigh it down.
No.
See, this is why we have music people doing music things. I said this is why we have music people doing music things.
Yeah.
Boom.
Which is sad because I'm also a music person, but
Yeah.
it's neither here
Actually,
nor
all
there.
three of you are.
That's true. Damn.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
you? Was your music lie
In my head.
in the listening?
In my head.
Hey, do you
I'm
not
recording right
remember
now.
that you have
Oh, yeah.
magazines reaching
Who was
out to
I
you?
signed to?
The Source wanted to reach out
the
to
Source.
you.
I was going to be in this.
She got like those those DMs that you get.
Like
it's like
those like
DMs.
spam
Like,
ones.
Source
I'm
wants to
part of.
sign you.
Like, you're
$100 and you're on the front cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, it's like I noticed your talent and I was like,
Your music is dope.
I was like,
Hello, this is Fran from Shade 45.
Yeah. Shade 45 was hitting her up. I was like,
Yeah, it was
wow,
pretty-
Kayla, the music that's playing in your head that
I
you
don't
haven't
know if
even
you know
created
this,
yet
but I'm famous.
is
A couple of those.
yeah.
I'm gonna write you, put you in XXL.
Yeah.
yeah, Double XL was on there too. Yeah,
I can get you
yeah.
120,000 followers for.
$250.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you in XXL.
It's like, get out of here, bro.
Will you though? Will you though?
It's like, where do
Okay.
I send that payment to? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cash App's not even
Yeah,
a real
yeah.
Cash App. It's not even a person's name. It's just letters and numbers.
That's,
like,
like,
yeah,
awful scam.
sending that over.
I wondered if people like actually
with the
fall
black
for that.
market.
Well, it's like the ones. It's like, oh, like I want to
yeah.
send you money or I want to buy you a house.
I
yeah.
almost did it in that point because it was like, oh, homeboy was talking to me in the DM for a little while. It was like 1 or 2 days, and then after I like, just kind of like felt the vibe, I just let it be, let it kind of like ghosted him basically. And it was like 1 or 2 days later, hey, what's up? What's up? Like the persistence of that person is like, come on, bro, you don't really work
Yeah.
for that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're over here trying to just like,
And like
Yeah.
you've never,
Trying to
you've
finesse.
never
I'm trying to blow
spoke.
you up. I'm trying
Yeah.
to give you exposure. Like, come
Like,
on.
oh really?
Yeah,
You've never
Double XL
said-
is not
Pretty sure the
reaching.
250 I can throw in a Google ad campaign and do it for
Yeah,
Right.
for real,
Pretty sure.
and get real results.
Exactly.
Yeah, Double XL is not reaching. Not to discredit anybody's talent, but like not reaching
Not-
that hard
Yeah, exactly.
to get people like. Oh, you said you didn't reply? Okay, on to the next person.
Right.
Like, we're not gonna sit and wait for Joe Schmo to be like, oh wait, oh my gosh, I did not get to my DMs. I need to send you that 250 to Cash App 185. Like, no, like, that's,
No,
dollar sign hashtag. Like, no, that's not happening.
it's just surprising, like, it's probably because I'm obviously back in banking, but like, it's surprising how many scams people fall for, like, on the daily, and I'm like, why did you do that?
The house one, I've seen the house one. It's like renting an apartment or something. Like, you send us money and then we'll like get you an apartment or something. Like, yeah, it was something crazy, or a house or whatever.
I just
I've
feel
seen
like
that one.
if anything's requiring you to send money,
Yeah.
like,
It's a no go.
off rip, yeah, it's probably not.
Yeah. Send me 1,000, we'll send you 5.
Right. Or like, why don't you go buy gift cards? And it's like, oh, that's super legit. That's wicked legit.
You've
like,
never
let's-
met me. I've never talked to you
Sounds
in
right.
in my life, but
Ask
you
them
know,
for help.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It's interesting.
Jay, give me 1,000
Why?
because I can get you on the cover of Double
Because
XL.
we're your, we're your
I can get you on
co-host,
Vogue.
and we need
How
to be
about
on
that?
the cover of Double
like-
XL.
Think about it.
Yeah, right. Think about it. Yeah, right. Yeah. We think you've got talent for Vogue.
Then I can go on Canva and just make a
Yeah.
fake ass thing.
I've never thought about being a model ever in my life, but Vogue
I feel like
apparently
you did a
wants.
good
I'll
job
send
of
you a
like
wait-
going through all my socials too. So it wasn't like what they were saying. What
Yeah.
they were
Yeah,
saying in
yeah,
my
yeah.
DMs was like, oh, okay, I see
Yeah.
you got this song and it has this many plays on this, da da da. da. It's like, come on, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You're
was-
doing a lot of work for this 250, bro.
right? Yeah.
Can the cover for this
And then afterward,
episode?
then they go and like spam all your shit. Oh, okay. Oh, I got to show that I actually checked it out.
Yep.
Be a Vogue.
Yeah.
I was like, I think the cover for this episode should be something.
You can do that.
Either
Think
be Double
about it.
XL or.
AI the Vogue.
They have like templates and stuff. You
I'm
just like
can
plug
we?
a picture in
We're
there.
gonna have to do that. We have to do
All
that.
right.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'll figure that out.
Cool.
We'll get that done. Well, welcome. Welcome to the pod, man.
So,
You said you guys have met before, maybe?
Weren't you on the same bill or something?
where are we?
I feel like you look familiar.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking of somebody else. Like I don't know. There's some other guy.
There is a D Sharp.
Oh, D Sharp. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
On the scale.
No,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
mean,
I was thinking of D Sharp.
there is
Like,
a
we were
D
on
Sharp,
the same
and I
bill
feel
there,
like
but
sorry.
Yeah, but
You-
more than likely we've crossed paths at least one
Of course,
time,
yes.
like at least briefly.
Yeah, I came across you. I mean, I listened to your music early on, but I don't know if you remember. He went by M Mills at the time? This was like circa 2012, 2013.
Oh,
M Mills.
who's that?
He doesn't rap anymore. He does like clothing now and stuff.
Okay,
and then he's
talking
on
about
Matthew.
yes, Matt.
Walterding.
Yes.
Yeah.
That name
Shout out to Matt
sounds
Walterding.
wicked
Great
familiar.
dude. I went to high school with him.
I did see he's like in fashion and stuff like that. Like past couple years and stuff like that. I reached out to him, was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
that's what's up."
Yeah,
I noticed he wasn't doing music anymore. It was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, we had these couple songs or whatever. And that's
Yeah.
cool that you heard that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool that you heard
yeah.
that project.
Him and I were at that time we were kind of working closely together. He was actually the one that like motivated me to become a solo artist. I was initially working with someone, and then just like the level of participation was not the same between the two of us. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I want to make music. And he's like, dude, why don't you just put out a solo album? And I was like, I don't know why I didn't think of that. So, go figure. So yeah, so he, helped me kind of put it together. He had a couple features on it, and we listened to it, kind of gave me feedback on everything and whatever, and we kind of did that whole piece for a little bit, and then eventually we kind of parted ways, but all on good terms and stuff like
I know
that.
when we were working together, he was in school at the time, so I don't think I knew what he was in school for. It might have been that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Makes sense,
It makes sense, like how it all panned out, but
Yeah.
that's dope, yo. Shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to Matt for sure. I love seeing that stuff. I think he really found like his passion of where he like honed into of what he wants to do, and it's dope to see the stuff that he's creating. So, but I mean, even before that, like I've definitely like tapped into your catalog for a while, and it's just cool to be able to sit down and kind of hear your story. And Kayla, I'm gonna put her on blast. Kayla fangirling over here. She's like, shut up, Jay.
I know.
let it out.
Jay, put me on blast. No, I've been a fan of your music for like 14 or 15 years. I feel like that gives. I know. I'm sorry. I'm like aging.
She
both
said
of
it,
us.
not me. She said it.
Yeah. So, like when I think of like all of my memories from like my early to mid 20s, I feel like your music was the background to that, so it's like it's dope to like have you here and like be able to like talk about things like that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Appreciate that we match.
I know, right? For those of you who can't see, we got the green going on.
I clearly missed the memo. Where the fuck
Yeah,
am I?
dude, come on.
There's
I'm-
not a
I
trace
got
of
the
green
khaki.
on
I
me.
matched you on the khaki.
Fair.
Okay,
I know. At least if
Shirt's
you,
close enough.
yeah. At least if you were in like black pants, then like y'all could have like duoed out, and then,
I know, right? Black shirt.
it's okay.
Black shirt.
That's why he was like halfway there, dude.
I feel like I only wear all black, and it's fine.
That's fine.
I
That's
almost wore all black.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a
like,
match.
this close.
I wear black often, but then I catch myself sometimes. I'm like, you know what? I should probably wear something different.
That's what it was for me. I was like,
Yeah.
I walked out like, no, all right.
But like black, black goes with everything. So it's like
yeah.
kind of the go-to.
But what's let's hear a little bit about you. Share with maybe people that don't know who you are, which would be crazy, at least around
I know.
here,
I'm like,
personally-
who would that be?
That's
But
I mean,
yeah,
we're old now at this point, so
Yeah,
I'd imagine like
I don't know
right
who
now,
you're talking
like,
about.
like the stuff going on now with the kids and the music, how music changes. It's almost like literally almost like how your body changes every 7 years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
the-
facts.
The whole landscape changes. of
It
fashion,
seems like music.
art.
It seems like music or anything creative changes like every year. You know what I mean? Like ever since
I
COVID,
know.
like so much
Especially
happens.
so much more faster, exponentially faster with social media.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
like that's why I've kind of like taken a step back and kind of like just
It got too wild. It's like the wild, wild west right now.
it's too much to work on figuring out for me at least, figuring out like my emotions and what I want to put into the music, and then on top of like that, creating the content that goes with that, because that's a whole different other animal.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
a whole different other job
You know
in
that.
itself.
yeah.
So there are so many people that are really good at the social media aspect. That I
Yeah.
think I'm just really good at the music.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at the
Yeah.
social media aspect. So
I agree with that.
um,
Just keeping up. Because like you said, like
Yeah.
everything is constantly changing. So you're like, oh, let me do this for a reel, for just using that as an example. Let me do this for a reel. It's like, dude, that was like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like nobody cares about that style of a reel anymore.
Yep.
It's like
Yeah.
I can't with
was just
social
fine.
media. I don't understand it. I feel like your music has done a really good job at like I hate to say changing, but like kind of like melding with the times. I feel like you do a good job with that.
I try to acquiesce, I guess, a little bit. Like, don't want to give in too much, but
Right. No, because I feel like there's a certain sound that's very unique to you, but like you do a good job with, yeah, just kind of like going with not like what's new and hot, but like yeah, kind of.
I get it.
It's like yes, you're like keeping up with the times, but like you're also like doing it in a way where it's like still true to us. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And we're not like jumping on this just for the fuck of it, like everybody else.
I think maybe my trick to that is I don't release anything that I just like. Before, when I first started doing music, I was literally in the basement recording and throwing the songs on MySpace or throwing it on YouTube
Classic.
ASAP. The same day, same weekend that we started this stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no, we're sitting on it much longer.
Yeah.
So now I can probably do like a whole year of like 52 songs a week type of thing.
Yeah.
New song each week on just how much stuff I've been holding in. So like the stuff that I do drop now is just a lot more thoughtful about it and like making sure that, hey, I might have wrote this 5 years ago. This might have been recorded 5 years ago, but if we're going to drop it now, we're going to try and acquiesce, tweak it a little bit to make it feel a little bit, speed it up, slow it down. What's going on right now to make it... Because I'm always kind of thinking about the DJ mind of like blending.
I got you.
Clubs,
That's
so
smart.
like, because I think
Yeah.
most of the music was club music at the time, the dance hall, the reggae stuff. So it was like, how were these songs? And we were on rhythms, which had most... Everything was just blended song after song after song. So that's
Right.
how I think about it now. It's like, if I'm making this song, what does it sound like, or what does it feel like now as far as tempo-wise, BPM-wise, so how is it going to blend in?
Yeah.
Or what's going on now. So it doesn't need to sound like it, but I definitely need to match that BPM.
No.
Yeah,
I
so
get
you
what
can
you're
just
saying.
flow right into it. You don't have to
no,
worry
that's
about.
that's a smart way to go about it actually.
I never even thought of that. I never even like thought of it that way. But it makes sense, especially for the genre of music that you're doing
Yeah,
and where it's gonna
It's
play.
just kind of like my producer mindset in that, like, oh, I'm making beats at
That's smart.
150, 130. I know that stuff is out there at 100 right now, popping with the Afro beats, the 90s something, da da da.
Yeah.
So let's play around with that. I'm already doing reggae, so we can just acquiesce a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you said, it just kind of like updates a little bit. It's funny that you said that because somebody sent me a screenshot the other day. They were like, hey, they're playing your song right now, and they sent me a Shazam screenshot of like something fairly recent that I was like, oh, I didn't think anybody even caught that. But it was just
What
like,
song
oh,
was it?
Stop Running or something like that. Stop Running remix or something.
That's actually one of my favorites.
So it was just like something that came out during COVID, around the time of COVID, and it was just like, we just throw it out there, and it kind of like fit with the times because it was like another rhythm that was out there around the same time going. So it was just like, just feels a good way to sneak it in or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, you know.
That's a great one. I like the acoustic version too.
Which one?
The acoustic version?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, she is tapped in. She knows.
You have a great catalog of music.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So what kind of corny question, but like what made you because you play the piano obviously. Now is that something that like kind of just naturally came to you like when you
I
were a
guess.
kid type deal or
Yeah. I was like 9 or 10.
Okay.
And it was something like, I think, church.
Amen.
Grew up a church boy, church kid. My grandmother's a pastor of a church. My mother is co-pastor. My aunt's co-pastor. It's
Oh wow.
It's a family thing type of thing.
Yeah.
So like very early, before my grandmother was a pastor, she was like just heavily involved in the church, and I believe it was something it was in Lawrence at the time. I forget how old I was. I had to be like 8 or 9 years old, where we were just in church, and it was just like I'm seeing the person leading the choir, piano dude singing, lead vocals, just directing everything. I'm just like, oh, that's fire. You can just see how they can like. It was almost like your first concert at that kind of age. So I'd imagine if I was like at a NSYNC concert at that age, that probably would have just caught my attention of like, oh, because I would have looked at the band people, the people behind the musicians, because that always like piqued my interest for some reason, like just the music. So as a kid, like before even that happened, it was like more of like I was at the barbershop, I'd know all the songs on the radio. They'd call me like Little Romero, like freaking Puerto Rican Junior.
Yeah, dang, that's a
Polo,
throwback.
that was like something that he gave me like a nickname back in the day. But it was like my grandmother in church, so like it was a church service that had I remember this. It was so crazy how I remember this, how this all goes together with J Faith and the
Let's go.
Right Mind podcast, right place, right time to talk about this. But it was we were at a church service, and at that service it was something about just give God your desire. Basically, it was something about like just a manifestation prayer of like whatever you want, visualize it. This is what you want. And it was just so happened that I only went to that church twice as a kid, so this is my second time being there. And I'm seeing this dude that I think is probably, I don't know, 5 years older than me. So, like, around the same, I don't know, he's probably like 16, 17.
Okay.
I'm like 10. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I could do this type of thing.
It's reachable.
Yeah, exactly. It's attainable. So it was like, oh, I just wanted to, I don't know how I just prayed about wanting a keyboard, basically. And I don't know, just serendipitously, I prayed for it. Didn't tell anybody about this either. I don't think I told my mom, my grandmother, nobody. And my grandparents were heavy in my life, like raising me at the time, helping raise me. You know, takes a tribe.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I remember this like it was like yesterday. I came home like so mad from walking home from school. It was a hot day. It was like June, whatever. The first thing that I do when I get home, my mom's like, "Can you take out the trash?" My grandparents went home. I like blew past them, didn't even say hi, completely disrespectful. As a Puerto Rican household, completely blew
Sounds
past
about
them,
right.
took out, like grabbed the trash, like took it outside, walked past the house, and then walked to my room again. And then they had called me. I was up there for like 10 minutes, like brewing in my
Just
brewing
frustration.
in my frustration or whatever. They had called me downstairs, and then I walked again past the living room into the kitchen, and they're like, "Oh, say hi to your grandparents." It was like, okay, God bless, whatever. They're like, "Oh, look in the living room." And then I looked in the living room, was literally a keyboard set up, already plugged in, brand new, out of box. The sustain pedal was there. It's like they knew they needed a sustain pedal. Nobody knows this about playing piano, but like if you buy somebody a keyboard, you need the sustain pedal.
Yeah.
As far as getting the actual feel of what it's like to play a piano. So it was like everything was set up there, and I just like was like, what?
That's wild.
And it was,
Wow.
yeah. So
Oh,
since
man.
then, I was probably like I said, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11. Something that happened. It was just like since then was going off. So like I maybe spent a year or two just in my bedroom, just learning it myself, like playing by ear. And then after that was just lessons. And then when I got into high school, music theory,
Sure.
AP music theory, and just went on from there kind of. So it was kind of like, it was really quickly that I realized I actually had an ear for it and can play the stuff that I was hearing on the radio.
That's so
So
cool.
that's what it was for me. It was like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, there you
like,
go.
I love that story.
I
That's
didn't
such
really
a cool
have a
story.
voice, even though it was funny because I was singing way before I was playing keys. Just like 4th, 5th grade choir type of thing. So I don't know how old you are then, but it was probably around the same amount of time.
Probably.
It was like, yeah,
That's cool.
weird story. Cool.
No, that was.
I don't think
that was
that's weird at
never-
all.
No,
I've
not
never said that. That's funny. I've never really talked about that being
Oh.
the
That's
root
an-
of how it all started from. Because if you went to school with me, middle school, high school, elementary, you knew I was in church. My family was in church. You knew I was like the music kid, like doing music, playing piano or whatever, or singing. It was, yeah.
That's really cool.
That's a dope story.
That is a dope
Yeah.
story.
Yeah,
I
you
like
definitely
that.
gotta share that
Especially
more.
because, like, yeah, that's a cool testimony, actually, because, like, nobody knew, and then it was just there, and then you were all, like, little pissed off C Sharp. Coming home from school.
Carlos, pissed off Carlos.
Pissed off Carlos.
He was C minor at the time.
C flat.
Yeah. His emotions were very flat that day. Trying to deal with walking in the summer heat of June. Oh man, no, that's a great story, man. That's cool. That's crazy. That's the power of prayer, man.
That is.
Yeah.
That's really
That's
cool.
a crazy power.
Especially because you were so young, too, so that's really cool how,
It didn't hit
like...
me till years after.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
when you're back in church, when you already like rebelled, like, oh, I don't want to accept this X, Y, and Z. You want to live your life. You want to do things, and you want to experiment, and you want to find out your truth. But
Been there, done that, bought the T-shirt.
Yeah, hi.
Went back for a second term.
Yeah, and then just to make sure that stuff like really wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
I'm just getting out of that myself.
It's funny how we always come back.
Yeah.
You always find your way back somehow, somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's the people, whether it's you're actually there congregating or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
No, it's true. I mean, her and I have both been in kind of that similar situation of just kind of just experimenting with any and everything that was coming within our path. And now we actually go to the same church together. Both got baptized together, stuff like that. And it's like, you know, for us, we knew that it was just something that, kind of God was chasing us down. And it was just like, we kind of took a couple extra laps.
I'm super stubborn. That may surprise everybody. But I'm like,
Maybe on my 12th extra lap.
Yeah. I mean, it reminds us of like,
I got you. I understand.
Israel, not to get too preachy, but like Israel in the wilderness and taking a little bit extra longer to get to the promised land than they should have. What should have took three weeks took them 40 years. So
I literally
so
attacked.
So that's kind of where we fell in that kind of, but we made it to, but it's not our timing, it's God's timing, and what he wants will happen, and that's just how it goes, and it's your relationship, not ours. So but that's cool, man. That's really cool. What else has been happening in the life of C Scharp currently, as far as just the current scene, we kind of touched on it earlier, but just like because this was a question I wanted to ask, because again, I obviously know that you've been in the music. Oh God, I'm starting.
Are we so old?
Been in music for a good amount of time. As far as like where you kind of started to just where it is now, of just the scene itself, not so much like the promo and just kind of keeping up, but just like the average, the scene now.
Well, I could say I called it.
In
like 06 when people were like, why do you have that thing on your voice?
Oh,
Why are
auto-tune?
you trying to sound like T-Pain? Why are you doing that?
I never thought you did. You never used it wicked heavy, did you?
Girlfriend?
I don't know.
Girlfriend, the way
Fair.
the stuff is now, everything is that.
Yeah.
But it's just more of like, so many people were like, stop. No, that's not going to get even. But when I sat down with labels at the time, everybody was like, go.
Do
like,
it.
green light. Keep doing what you're
Do it.
doing. Just like work on the image, work on the songwriting a little bit, but like keep doing what you're doing, because, and that's what kind of gave me the fire, because it was like, I feel like I called it. So many people were like, no auto-tune. Now what? Now listen to a song right now. Even the best singers.
Yeah, I
Even
feel
the
like
people that are
everybody uses it.
Sang Gang.
Yeah.
Beyonce, all of them, Ariana Grande.
T-Pain, the one who kind of fundamentally found, really blew it
Bieber,
out there.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you hear him, he's like,
there is no song without auto-tune right now.
That's true.
Like, it's been trained on the ear since what, 05, 06, Flow Rida, T-Pain era.
ooh, yeah. That's right, Flow Rida.
Akon, Flow Rida, T-Pain era.
Yep.
And Chris Brown really brought it to the forefront.
Yeah.
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 As far as like stuff changing, nothing's changed really. The tempos, the BPMs change. Like it all kind of like everything comes back. Like literally what we're wearing what kids are wearing right now, what artists are wearing right now, as far as like their style and
Me and these pants.
Yeah, right.
I'm living out my 10-year-old dreams.
This is Aaliyah.
Yeah.
This is TLC. This is
That's right.
The baggy era of what
I
it was
love
back
it.
then.
Yeah.
The starter jackets and
I'm actually
So,
super
like,
pumped about it. I can't lie.
It's like actually, if we think about it, it's just like that era with auto-tune.
it's gonna come back.
So like even like because I've been dabbling into a lot of like the UK sound.
Mm.
There's a lot of like UK drill. I've always been fascinated with like whatever Europe's doing and like their EDM scene or house scene or whatever. But like their UK garage, garage.
I know what you're talking. Yeah, the garage.
the garage.
UK garage. Or their R&B scene, UK R&B scene. Basically, what it is right now is it's our old school freestyle. That New York 80s, 1990s freestyle music. It's the same tempo. It's literally the same format of like how the drums work and how the feel is, and it's all love songs. and breakup music, and it's all the
So
same
the
stuff. It's
yeah.
everything comes around. So it's
It
like,
does.
how do I feel about it? It's all the same stuff. There's nothing new under the sun. It's always someone doing something a different way, perhaps that's influenced. But
Yeah.
I love it all. I love it all. It doesn't matter what kind of sound or like feel it is. I like to learn from whatever it is that I don't know. Even if it's like a mariachi that you're gonna play me right now, you're gonna play me a
Yeah.
Christian mariachi, bro. I'm gonna listen to that with like open ears, open heart. And be
Yeah,
like,
you never know. Like
Yeah.
you just never know. Like the sounds you even just hear, especially as a creator of creating music, you just never know the sounds. Like you may not like the songs, but you're like, yo, I like the way that tambourine was slapping, and that's you're like, yo, I need to figure out
that
and
4-bar
find.
break. I need that 4-bar break.
Yeah, it's stuff like that, and that's I think what people miss out on sometimes is like taking that second to really invest in new music and even music, like people that have been consistently going and putting out new stuff, like taking the time to just hear what they have, hear the transition of what they're trying to do, because we're all trying to kind of experiment with different things. Like one of my biggest things was like when Linkin Park kind of I was a huge Linkin Park fan.
Yeah.
And obviously hearing like Hybrid Theory and then into their last album, like such a huge dramatic, I don't want to say dramatic twist, but definitely a twist in the sound. And, I was just reading up on it and like so many people were just like bashing like, oh, why are they putting out music like this? I'm like, dude, like,
God forbid they grow.
Evolution.
do you
Yeah.
expect
As
them to
humans.
do, granted, I would love to hear Hybrid Theory, 300 different versions of it. It's an amazing album, but
That's why you got one. You can loop it.
yeah, exactly. And play the open the
Might as well
CD
just play
case
the last album then.
and rap the lyrics and stuff. But it's like, did you expect them to just stay put in
Yeah.
one spot? Granted, some people can do that and flourish.
Yep.
Other people, but again, they kind of adapted with the times and they wanted to try something different.
Right.
I mean, just look at Hybrid Theory and then Reanimation, like
Yeah.
just the way they twisted that, and then they went and linked up with Jay-Z. It's like they kept kind of expanding the envelope until it was just like, okay, all right,
I just feel like that's the point, though.
Yeah.
yeah, like see how creative somebody can go. Like
You would think.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
always the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or like once people hear you a certain way, that's like
They're married to it.
that's all they want to hear you as or see you as or
I definitely
whatever.
whatever. That. It was like, oh, you're doing dancehall, heavy auto tune. We don't want to hear no R&B. We don't want to hear no hip hop.
you make great R&B music.
And it's
though.
just like, God, that's my stuff.
Right.
This dancehall stuff was fun. It was just like, crank it up. Let's see what we can come up with. And boom, the songs were out. But the other stuff that I actually take my time with is like, ugh.
I feel like you have classics that are like still played in the. So when I was working at Trend, when I was working in nightlife for my brief stint, that was fun while it lasted. But like, yeah, you still have songs that are like that would spin in the club today and still make everybody go crazy. And like, I would stand back for a second and I would be like, wow. That's a cool thing to be able to do. Like a song that you made, we won't say how many years ago, a little while ago, that still makes people go crazy today. Like that's good for you. That's awesome.
Thank you. I mean, so many people hit me up too all the time. Like, oh, it's like the last. That was the intention too, of 21 Plus.
Mm-hmm.
The intention was making that song. That's the last song of the night.
Okay. I get
So,
that.
If you're familiar with the song,
Mm-hmm.
One knowledge is like, I don't want to go home. I want to be alone in the club with you.
Yep.
With you. The intention was making that song the last song of the night. And I think at the time we were playing off of It Was Ghetto Story, Alicia Keys.
yeah.
It's the same rhythm. There was like 20 million other songs on the same rhythm, but we just did our own. That was like, okay, they can play the 21s before us, but this is the last song of the night. So that's dope. It's dope that it worked, that the intention was set, and it actually, carries on to this day, because like still people hit me up with Snapchat or on a story
Yeah.
in the DM like, oh my god, they're playing this. My sister or family,
That's cool.
cousins out there always just do it, and it's dope. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, for sure. It reminds me, we just watched the Joe Coy stand up, and he was talking about like he was making fun of I don't even know the name of the song because you can't even tell what the guy
I
is
don't.
saying.
It's
It was,
like Yeah.
You've seen it, yeah. You've seen this in it, yeah. You know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but then, you know, you play Biggie, and it's one of those songs that, like,
for word.
you know, you could just do it again, kind of the same aspect. It's like, yeah, we have this current stuff, but there's still like just gems that are still there that people are like, can we just play that song because this is like way better, and we need to end the night on a good note versus what these other people are putting out.
I think it's dope that it's still such a regional gem. Like, it never like had any like huge commercial mainstream appeal. It's like a regional thing. So like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like
you know, it's like one of those things. Like, you're in, and it's there's like somebody big, Cardi B. She always is playing Knowledge's music, and like in one of the songs she always plays is with me and him.
That's
so it's
really
like,
cool.
It's super dope that like the wedding song is like a Knowledge song. So it's like, you know. And I think that's fire. Like, she'll shout them out once in a while or play the song on the live or on a story or whatever. But it's just like fire that like, you know. And I don't really care. And maybe when I was younger, trying to do it, like, care about the critical acclaim, the mainstream success. But like, it was always like cool for me to be in a room of like my peer, and them just acknowledge me and just be like, yo, this is fire. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I'd rather hear, you know, more from like local people and it like continuing to stay current, if you will, like constantly on replay, versus like never really knowing what if it's like being played out there. But like you know, like your core fan base is like still rocking with it, and so like I would rather have that than just like constantly like wondering or trying to keep up and see if like.
I'm constantly wondering and still.
Oh, of course.
That anxiety gets me too.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, I just, yeah. I mean, I would.
But it is comforting that if I'm bombing, playing a new song on stage, we could just scrap that and go right to the.
Exactly.
Just play "Baby I Need You" and everybody will be singing it with.
Yeah.
You don't even have to sing it. You can just hold out your microphone and everybody else sing it.
Yeah, just hit the beat and just let it rock. You know?
No, I feel like 978 Dancehall though is such its own thing, and to your point, like, if you know, you know, type deal, and like,
and if you don't know, now you know.
Do I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that word on here. No, but that's so true. Like, it's
a niche thing.
It is
like Bronx wine, like that. Just even knowing just those phrases, 978 Dancehall, Bronx wine. There's a couple other artists that you can drop, and you're like, oh. Okay, that's that.
Right, exactly.
You know, tri-state New England area, basically.
Yeah.
It's very like its own sound, but I feel like, like when I think of 978 Dancehall, I think of like, you and Knowledge for sure. So that's.
Yeah, I used to rock with Knowledge. 1393 miles. That was my jam back in there. Is it 1393?
What?
Am I getting that right?
Yeah. 1,300.
93 miles. Yeah, that was my jam back in the day. That was like the love song.
Yeah,
I was like,
man.
woo.
Knowledge, still fire. Still
Yeah.
fire with the pen.
I agree.
Still fire with the pen.
Yeah.
Always been.
That's what's cool. That's what's cool about it, man. Like, I appreciate stuff like that. Like, it to the point, like you said, like, it, you know, may not have gone as mainstream as, you know, we all hope, but it's like, there is still something to just enjoy and appreciate, especially like when your hometown is like, yo, where is like where is C Scharp? Where is Knowledge?
So to bring it back to the new music thing that you were talking about, what it is now with new music and new artists, you're big online, but does your hometown know you?
Right.
Can you sell out 100 tickets in your small venue at a boutique in your city?
Yeah.
You know, like,
that's a good point.
a lot of things can't happen, like as far as like the smoke and mirrors of what the illusion of online gives you or social media gives you. It's like we have a real, at least we know what we can do as far as like ticket sales and shows and stuff like that. So we have a core at least, so that's cool in that aspect. So maybe we did play the online game, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What would you say to like maybe like a local artist that's like coming up, that's like trying to tap into their local community? Like, what would you say would be like, you know, some sort of piece of advice to give them to like really tap into that local community, if anything? Like, well, you know, I guess it was, I would say like what kind of really worked for you? Obviously it's not going to work for everybody, but like what do you feel like worked for you as far as like really connecting with that local community?
network, relationships.
Network.
I mean, right now more than anything, it's relationships.
Mhm.
And then knowing the business, and that's a lot because it's like I said, smoke and mirrors. A lot of this is like likes, engagement, all that's really budget when you come down to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because all those things can be purchased and made look a certain way, but are you knowledgeable about like the business? Do you have a plan on what you want to do? Like it's I guess for me, when I was doing it, I always was doing music
Mm.
as a kid, so like it's kind of something that I always wanted to do. Like it's not something that I guess rolled out of bed and was like, oh, I want to do this now. So if that person to roll out of bed and want to do this now, get your money right, learn business, like legit,
Yeah.
LLC, all that, copyrights, all of that.
Yeah. The
BMI,
Yeah.
CSAC, your publishing,
Right.
all that, royalties, splits, learn all of that because you're gonna need to know all that if you're writing your songs and when all that comes to it, and then just really just study who you love. Study who you love, and then kind of like figure out why you love them. Like what made those artists great, and
Yeah.
then tap into that and hone that. But really, it's a lot of hard work.
For sure.
You're not gonna do anything without hard work. But I would say for an artist now, it is budget.
Yeah. Especially
It is
nowadays.
budget.
Oh, yeah.
It is marketing, and it is business. So
Mhm.
BMB, BBB, business.
Yeah. Literally.
Music, unfortunately, is secondary. But if you have the music now and you already have that already locked in, then worry about the budgeting and the marketing and the other parts
Right.
of it, because really that's the most. They're telling you to post what 3 to 4 times a day. A day.
Somewhere.
More.
Yeah.
That's a post.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
exhausting.
Bro, I'm not even trying to give you a story.
I literally am the same way.
Yeah.
I don't get
know,
it.
Like,
Yeah.
and when I'm doing that, I didn't do nothing all days because I have 10 things in my story that I'm like, or I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to,
Yeah.
provoke engagement or whatever the case
There's an
is.
intent
I
to
need
it.
the eyeballs on it or whatever. Exactly, the intent. But it's like,
Yeah. That's where
gotta
I've gone.
focus on that as the job.
Yeah. That's
Music
where I've
secondary
gone to it.
should be first. Unfortunately, you should be in the studio doing your dance routines in the mirror, by practicing how to sing your songs running on a treadmill. That means if you're a rapper or a singer, you should be running on a treadmill or running while singing your song, so that way you can learn your breath control while on a stage, because you don't want to look stupid.
Yeah.
Not
That's
being
a
able to
really
breathe
good
Big
while
facts.
doing
Yeah.
your songs when you're on the right stage, because if you take all those steps, you can set yourself up to be on the right stages, to be in the front of the right people, so that way you can execute properly.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, for sure. But that
Really good
again, those
points.
are the steps that people miss.
yeah.
They
Those
they
are like the
kinda
big steps,
skip.
but like the small steps, I would say, is like networking.
Yeah.
Really going to the right open mic with the right DJ.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe buying him a beer, maybe asking him to lunch so you can pick his brain. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, those things go a
Yeah.
long way in you creating the relationship that could
Right.
evolve. Maybe your music's not there at that point, but they're gonna listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Later on down the line, at least, and be like, oh, this person at least approached it appropriately.
Right.
Because a lot of that is that. I learned that weirdly just doing like networking campaigns and stuff like that. So like flying out to like Miami or flying out to Vegas one time, Phoenix, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
It was all like networking conferences with like producers and A&Rs and stuff like that, and they kind of just sat you down and was like giving you game.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
This is how you should talk to us. This is how you should approach us. This is how you
Right.
should email us. Your email shouldn't have a Gmail if you want us to take us serious. Like, stuff like that. Like, if you came
Good to
at
know.
a scientist and you were like, hey, I have this theory for quantum physics, and you're sending them an email with a zip file from Gmail, they won't even... It got to come from EDU. You know what I'm saying? A .edu. There's got to be a thought process here of, like, how you're approaching people and the way
Yeah.
you're coming at them. So it was a lot of game like that is almost invaluable now. And
Yeah.
you can get it all online, but it's a lot.
Yeah, but it's not the
It's not unattainable. It's not
Yeah.
not possible. There's plenty of artists from here doing it on spectacular levels from Massachusetts as well.
For sure.
And this area is just like, come on. way beyond I could have ever dreamed for myself. So
Exactly.
it's definitely doable in any level that you want to, any tier that you want to attain it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's I lost my train of thought. It's not like it's, hey, play my, like, you know how you see people, hey, just play my music. It's like, no,
It's actually absolutely not that.
help me learn. I just want to learn. Like you said, because what sparked the conversation was like, let me just pick your brain. I just want to pick your brain. I'm not here to get you to try to play my CD. I'm not here like I'm just here to figure this out. I'm here to learn and do it the right way, not
Or
waste your
maybe
time.
you have an angle where you can add value to that DJ, and
Exactly.
you're like, hey, you're a photographer. Hey, I can maybe show up and, I don't know, just take pictures for free or just whatever events, where you can add value to the person, and then you can build that relationship. And, you know, same thing, because a lot of people maybe
Right.
nowadays is like want to close you off on the, hey, I want to learn thing. But I mean, I think a lot of people in the real industry are a lot more receptive to, I want to learn, I want to like gain information because I see this as a long-term thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you come at it with that approach, your doors will open.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you remain coachable, which is the thing that I was not at that age.
Of course.
That's a
Yeah.
really good
Same.
point.
As long as you are able to remain somewhat coachable and take ideas and not take things personal, because at times
Right.
you will feel like it's coming at you, but it's just because it's being said directly to you about
Right.
what you're about your stuff that you hold dear to your heart.
Yeah. Right.
You
You're
know,
like, oh,
that
don't break
you
my
wanna
heart.
take it personal, but this is somebody that you're trying to learn from and grow from. So
Right. You got to kind of take it and be
you gotta
like,
eat that.
yeah. Especially with somebody who is in somewhat of a position where you're trying to be.
Yeah.
You can't be like, no, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. No, I do. Because that's why I'm sitting here. And you're
Right.
sitting here trying to ask me these questions, not the other way
Trying to learn
around.
from me.
Yeah. So don't insult what I'm trying to say. Take it, learn from it, grow from it,
Grow.
move on. You know, move forward, I should say. Not move on, but move forward. And yeah, people just don't, they skip all that stuff. It's just like, what can you do for me?
No, being coachable.
In the sense of like gimme versus obviously like trying to gain knowledge, which you're still trying to receive it, but you know, and that's, you know, because to go back on that example, like Crispy, it's like, you know, that's how he, again, it's an example of what you just said. Crispy, who's our photographer, and he does like a lot of our video work. It was kind of the similar process for him. Like he would just reach out to people like, hey, like I'm a photographer, like, you know, I'll shoot a couple photos for you. Like, you know, we'll just see how this goes,
Yep.
you know, whatever. I'll do it for free.
Yep.
You know, him and L.Y.F.E and I have a project out together, and we hit him up and was like, hey, he's like, I'll help shoot you guys promo.
Yep.
You know, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not, man? Like, let's, you know, we're all trying to figure this out. We're all trying to learn. We're all trying to grow. And now he's, you know, he's getting, you know, a lot of different gigs and a lot, you know, with some, you know, higher up people, especially around in the area. And, you know, he's working with a lot of great people. So it's like, yeah,
I met
man.
him through Term and
Yeah, he's working with,
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
He works really closely.
So it's like to hear from, again, to go to that testimony of somebody that took pictures with his phone to try to promote, to now working with people like Term and Nim and all these people. It's like, it works. You just got to do it the right way, and being willing to learn.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes it's doing a little bit of free work as a give and take type of
That's
deal.
how it was with me and Term. I couldn't tell you how many years that I would go to Term and show him music, and he'd be like, not it. Or he'd be like, next. Like, it was just like,
Wow.
you know?
Yeah.
I wish I could. I have those CDs somewhere. Maybe one day.
Right.
But it's like, it was maybe 3 years where like I had an in with the relationship with one of his cousins or family member, something like that.
Yep.
With a family member would just pull me up, bring me to the studio, be like, yo, he can make beats, he can sing, he plays keys, X, Y, and Z. And I was stupid young. And he was just like, keep working. He would listen to the beats, he'd be like, good beats. Keep working though. Keep working on the voice. Keep working on the lyrics. You know, like, it was always encouraging, but it was never like this is terrible. But like thinking back on it now, I was like, wow, he was so patient.
You're like, damn, when is it gonna stick? Finally, like, come on, man. Like, I'm trying here.
Because bro, now we have so many songs together, and like to the point where like we have so many songs that are still gonna come out, have yet to come out. Where it's just now he'll just hit me up, hey, I need just just lay something down for me.
Yeah.
We'll do it. But it's like that's the trust or the rapport that you build over the years that he can just hit me up and I can make sure that I'm there. We'll show up, lay it down, and make sure that
It's kind of like on a sports team where like you want to get in the game, but like you gotta earn your spot kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like you start here, then if you're playing football, you go from the practice team to third string to second or whatever. So you can look at it at that angle.
Yep.
And too, it's like you can look. It's like you were putting in all this work, and it's like, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? Look at all this work that I'm putting in. Now you're like, look at all the work we've done. From when is it gonna when is it gonna hit? When is it gonna hit? Dude, look at all the hits.
Yeah.
It's cool to see like that flip, but it's like that's what it takes, and people miss that part too. Of like you said, I would play him a record, and he'd be like, not so much. People just think like, oh, like I showed them one song and I took off and here I am.
You're right. You could have been defeated at that moment. It's like,
that too.
Let's go.
Right.
Yeah,
Let's
that
keep
too.
going.
Yeah. So it's like people think like, oh, I just threw him one song and that was my story. It's like, no, I played many songs.
Takes work.
Probably heard 100.
Yeah.
Before it was like, okay, let's go.
All right. Okay. I see. But sometimes it takes seeing the progress too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Again, using Crispy as an example, but same.
And then
same
too, it
thing.
was like, oh, I'm also coming to him while he's kind of like in the height of like what he's doing with DJ Premier and Static at the time, because that's what it was. And it was like, oh, keep working on it, and then I started building a buzz with the dance hall and the knowledge stuff. So it was like the club scene, which is completely separate from what he's doing in his realm.
Right.
So once that kind of word came around that, oh, that kid that you keep saying no to
He's creating
is
a buzz.
the one that you're like, oh, that's that guy's song.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, let's
cool.
make some
Alright.
work. Let's make something happen.
And also seeing like you're doing it on your own merit versus just like trying to get that in constantly and like trying to like piggyback off of somebody. But it's like, no, like I built something for myself, quote unquote, by myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, with people,
course.
you know what I mean?
People involved.
Of course.
Always.
But it's like it wasn't just like, oh, like I knew term and here I am and I popped off. It's like, no, like I did the work. I created something for myself and my team and my family and X, Y, and Z of who else is involved and now okay, all right, he isn't just somebody that's just here to like freeload or just kind of take advantage of people, and real people will recognize that. The character of somebody who is really genuine about it versus just I hope to just know somebody and take off. I mean, does it happen? Of course.
That's cool.
Of course.
It's cool to know people.
Yeah. Right. It can only get you so far too.
Yeah.
At some point, because at the end of the day, you still have to put the work in somehow.
Right.
To extend it.
Yeah. Because you still got to make them look good by you being nice.
Right. Right. If you're trash, then
you might know who you know. You still got to be nice.
Yeah.
You still got to be ready.
You're like, yeah, I know Joe Schmo, but like my music is trash.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna be like, you really signed him?
Yeah.
Or her? Good luck. It's like, and you've seen it. We've seen it. We've seen it happen before. But that's great, man. Like seriously, like it's amazing to hear those perspectives of things too, especially between like mixing songs to for people too, like even myself, but just like being able to it's like, oh, you got to play 100 songs before.
I don't think it was 100, but yeah, I exaggerate a little bit. But yeah, but it feels like 100.
But theoretically,
it's like 20.
Yeah.
You're like, you're like trying to pull anything out of you. Just
Well, 20 feels like 100 because it's like all the time, the effort that you're putting.
20 is
in.
definitely 100 now.
You're right.
In fact. But it's like you're putting in all the time and the effort to really make that song record that is that is like the one that he
Songs.
that person clicks to, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, back to the drawing board. Okay, here's another however long insert time frame of creating a song for different people
Yeah.
to get to that point. So, that's just how it goes.
Do you have any performances coming up?
Negative.
Could you?
Me too.
I could.
Like, could you?
Just like antisocial. I don't know.
I get it.
Like, I don't.
It's just not the primary focus right now.
It isn't. I do have like a couple young artists that I'm working with.
Okay.
Out of the 978.
Cool.
They're not doing dancehall, but one. I think it's funny. Like, if you're an artist out of 978 right now, you're gonna have to, at some point, do a dancehall song, do a dancehall remix. You're gonna
actually
have to
totally agree with that. I totally agree with
That's what
that.
the sound is. That's what the song dictates. At some point, you're gonna
That's true.
revolve around it. And like Caribbean music is like universal everywhere. So Bad Bunny, just Afro beats,
Yeah.
just
Right.
going there. That's not Caribbean, but it's the same vibe.
I got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can. I'm always asked to do stuff. I turn down more than I accept. So I don't
That's
know.
a good. I
Maybe
guess
by the
that's
end
a
of the
good
year.
thing.
I just don't want to be like too oversaturated.
I get that.
Thank you. Okay.
Like
I don't feel as
I
bad.
could drop a song a week, like we were saying. I could drop a song a week, but like I don't want to oversaturate myself. But then, do I have the Google Ads budget to do that? That's another part of it. Too.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, like, I can reach regional here real quick. Everything that I drop here, everyone will know about it fast. But it's like, we need the rest of the world, the rest of the country to know about it. So
Yeah.
that would be the goal at that point. So I'd have to get a plane, do some networking. So no shows.
Okay.
Fair.
Fine.
No, it's for me. That's good to hear because like that was kind of my aspect of it. Of
Yeah.
as far as performances, I've shared it with these guys. Like kind of treating it like a tour, if you will, in the sense of like performing locally.
Yeah.
You don't want to. I didn't want to, perform every single Friday personally. I know people that do, and that's not a knock to them.
Yeah, I mean, if it's making you money and it's paying your bills and you're not
Exactly.
getting tired and you can live that life, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
But in trying to get people like to the shows, trying
Yeah.
to fill some seats,
A lot.
I didn't want to perform, a set on Friday and then the following week doing the same set and being like, hey, come on out. They're gonna be like, dude, I just heard your set. Yeah, different location, but I just heard that set. It's just like, you can only hear the same set so many
If I
times.
did it now, I would love to still try to plan to put this together. Just be like an intimate event. I don't know, 150 people. I don't know what the space would be. 150 people, 200 tops, small live band, and doing everything like live acoustic.
That'd be
so like the stuff that you
great.
know.
That's dope. Yeah.
And it would be dope to have like Knowledge, Kim Davis, with me doing that stuff.
That would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
amazing.
So
That
that's
would be a
always been an
great
idea
show.
that I've had. Just throwing that onto the ether if you want to help make it happen.
Right. Yeah.
No, that would be a dope show.
And people would show because you have that
Do it here.
that bass.
Lowell,
Yeah.
Rural, 978 area.
Yes,
Lawrence.
please.
Yeah,
I'll be in the front row.
for sure.
Probably do two of them.
I'm like, please do.
Yeah. Two separate locations just to fill those demographics,
Yeah.
if you will. If you will. Whoever can make it this day. Do like a Friday, Saturday type of deal or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. I don't know.
Of course.
I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out.
Yeah. It's a lot, bro.
And I've been doing this since 2013 is when I dropped that first. So 11, right? If I'm mathing correctly. 11 years, kind of consistently. Still trying to figure it out, but that's cool. It's been a journey, but I've enjoyed it. And that's what it's about, been just trying to grow. And
What's been your biggest lesson in the music that maybe can translate into life or that journey? I know it's super vague, me saying that.
no,
It's
you're good. Don't skip the steps, honestly.
Yeah.
And not to reiterate a story that I've said 1,000 times on this podcast, but just, there was not skipping steps and really taking the time to learn versus trying to get from point A to point Z so quickly. And really finding out what it is that it takes, because you try to skip those steps and then it doesn't turn out the way that you think it will because you've missed all those steps, and then now you have to take 10 steps backwards to figure out where you messed up. And then you're like, oh, I didn't learn that part. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. So it's definitely trusting the process for sure. and then just really taking the time to not skip steps and to, again, just kind of sit and learn and just absorb things in and talk to different people. And that's why I love doing this podcast, because I get to hear from different people, different perspectives. I mean, Kayla knows I'm not the most talkative person, but come to the podcast.
You gotta put a microphone in front of
it's different. It's
like,
weird.
I don't get it.
But I love to learn. I love to learn, and that's something that's grown over time. Sometimes you're just like, I was in that mindset. I want it now. Like, I want it now. I hope to just have it now. Even doing like the first project, I was like, this is it. This is gonna be my project. And it's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You did it on GarageBand. You mixed and mastered it terribly. Like, take a step back.
Hey, give yourself some credit. You still did it.
I did still do it. But I learned, and I was like, no, you have to learn the mixing and mastering if you want to do it yourself. There's visuals that go into it. You can't just shoot it on an iPad. There's a lot more things that go into it. I recorded it down here. Like, I didn't really know about going to studios. I thought it was like an exclusive thing, and it's like, no, you can have access to that for a small fee. Whatever, insert dollar amount.
$7,500.
Yeah, insert dollar amount here. And
price.
yeah, exactly. But you just for anybody listening, like, really, like, don't skip the steps and be open to just learning, and again, trusting the process, and just go from
back
there.
to what I said. Study the greats on why you love who you love.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you learn those stories, you're like, oh my god,
the
crap that those people went through to become who they ended up becoming.
That's what makes me love an artist more. Again, I've said this before, but it's like hearing, again, DMX again as an example.
Oh
again,
my god.
It's like hearing, seeing his behind the music on VH1, and I was like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, this makes me understand this a little bit clearer, and makes me want it even more. But understands the process a little bit better. I've seen Lil Wayne's. Trying to think who else. And I was a huge fan of Lil Wayne too at the time. And again, it's like, you never realize, like, dude, like, I didn't know, like, he got shot in the chest when he was a kid, and gets saved by the cop. The cop saves him, and so he's yelling at the other officers who are stepping over him, and it's like, because again, you see this, like, you hear this one perspective of using that as an example of, like, oh, cops don't care about black people and this and that, and it's like, he's like, I have such an adoration for cops because, like, they literally saved my life. Because then you hear his music and you're like, do you? But then, like, when you really hone in on who the person is, like, you realize that there is somewhat of a separation of music and just personal life, which in a sense there should be, personally. But, you get to really understand who a person is and what really makes them tick. And it's not just what you see on the surface level of. Yeah, exactly.
Because we got to remember, it's all
lights, camera, action.
Smoke and mirrors.
I was just gonna say smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, smoke and mirrors.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite things, though, is just like, because whenever I like an artist, that we talked about this earlier, like, I would like hyperfixate and then like deep dive, because it would be like, okay, well, I love your music, but like, what makes you, which therefore leads to your music, like, was always a thing. So like, especially when we talk to artists here, kind of how I asked you, like, how did you get your start? Like, what brought you to that point? Because obviously we know you make great music. We know that you're a great musician and songwriter, but like, there was a point in time when you didn't know that about yourself yet. So like, what made you? Like, I'm always interested in no matter who people are, I'm always interested in like what makes them them, and kind of what brought them to where they are.
And the why.
Yeah.
For me, and the why.
Yeah.
Like, again, like, not you specifically, but like, some people are just like, oh, like, I'm in it for the money. But like, is it, but what is like the real why? Like, why did you decide to jump into this type of industry, hopefully knowing kind of what it is, and being like, no, I'm not going to quit. Like, I'm going to keep going. And like, why would you do that type of thing?
The why was always just love.
Yeah.
Just love playing piano. I love hearing a song that I don't know how to play, and learning how to play it, and then playing it well, and then playing it better.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just the love. Like, it's always gonna be that way, and I think that's probably why I didn't lose myself in it. In the trying to chase something about it, like, because I think it came early on that I got a little bit of respect from the peers that I was telling you about. It was like, oh, it was little, just people locally you're looking up to. Oh, I want this DJ to play my song. I want this DJ to know my name. I want this X, Y, and Z to. And as those things were happening, oh, I wanted to do this venue, did it, and then did that venue, did it. You know, I want to perform in this state, did it. You know, and you're like, all these things are. It's like, come on. And now to look back on it, like you're saying, however many years later that is, and people are still playing your song, hitting you up every other week or whatever, saying that your song is ringing off in the club right now. It feels good. It feels good because it's so you can't. Some of these songs that you hear on the socials right now that you see all the time, they're not even getting played in the club.
That's true.
When you think about
It's literally only on
it's
your
literally
social.
only on
it's only on
socials,
Reels.
or like if it gets big enough, it'll finally crack a top 10 or a top 40.
Yeah.
You know, if it's big enough on socials. But like as far as being outside,
Right.
I mean, I think it was like 3 weeks ago I was walking downtown and somebody was playing one of my songs, and I'm like,
That's cool.
That must be a
and
cool
they were
feeling.
driving
That's
by,
such
and
a
I just got
cool-
like,
yeah.
oh, wow. I was like, woo, I had goosebumps. I wanted to stop them and be like, hey, it's me.
That must be
my song.
Exactly, right? I felt like just like back in the day. It was
Yeah,
like,
that's
wow.
cool.
And what they were playing was like a cut. It was like Love on the Dance Floor.
Oh, I love
So
that
it wasn't
song. That's
even
such
like
a great song.
super popular thing. It was like a B-side.
Oh,
That
word.
was
That's
really
even
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like Baby I Need You. Or
Oh,
like,
okay.
you
I
know,
get what you're
21
saying.
Gloves,
That's a
you know,
great
like,
song, though.
It was just
Man.
like,
That's cool.
I think that's what it
Yeah.
was. It's always been for the love. It's cool that it worked out the way it has. And I feel like if I do fan the flames a couple more years, you know, something might happen. There's a lot of people around me in my circles that things have happened because they just haven't kept their eyes off the prize. They're just
Fair.
continuing to do their due diligence, be good people, keep good relationships,
Yeah.
and not
That's
be
important.
pieces of crap, because there's so many pieces of crap in
Yeah.
this industry.
Oh, I'm
or
sure you
this
guys deal
circles
with it
that
all.
Yeah.
It's, you know, those who are craps stay with craps.
That's
and
true.
Facts.
those who are
Facts.
good
Facts.
stay with the goods.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's always been like the connection piece of wanting to connect with people. Cuz like my love for music came with like that connection, like that emotional connection with music, like listening to R&B, and then, you know, you're crying over like your ex breaking up with you type of thing, you know. And then connecting with artists as I started getting into hip hop, of, you know, again, Joe Budden, like J. Cole, DMX, you know, those kind of people like that give you like that mood feeling music type of thing, and really wanting to connect with people. And I think being an only child too, of like not having people around you as much, and like wanting to have those connections, like being bullied as a kid, like, and really wanting not people to, no, I want you guys to like me, but like just like really like connecting with people, just like we are here, you know. And then I always imagined Wisin y Yandel, Gracias a Ti, with Enrique Iglesias, the music video where they come out and they're like in the center of some stadium or something, and like they walk out and the crowd is just like all around them and they're just like looking out, but just like
videos are the best.
yeah, but just like that, it was like a kind of a slower song, but it was like one of those, like, obviously them saying thank you, but it was to the point of like just being in that space and just enjoying music together, you know, and being in the same like kind of playing field and just the same plane, and just appreciating music, not because it's me, but just appreciating music and just enjoying it together and just performing it together, you know, type of thing. And that's always been like my vision, and, you know, I hope to have that feeling at some point. But that's kind of what keeps me going, is just trying to connect with people. Like I started a thing on my like TikTok and kind of Instagram. It's like 2 Cents of Faith, and just sharing, you
That's
know,
a great
kind of
little
my
series you got
perspective type of thing. And I've had a lot of people just like tapping in and just being like, oh, like, thank you. And, you know, that really spoke to me today. And like, I really needed that. And, you know, it may only, you know, get like, you know, 5 or so comments or whatever. And I'm like, yo, that's like 5 people that like I'm connecting with, and it's cool. And it's like, I don't need, you know, thousands of people commenting, and, you know,
everything's a snowball. How does this?
It feels great. It feels great. And again, not to look at the, you know, the analytics of it, but it's like I've gone from, you know, maybe 700 to like 800 followers within the past like month or so, just doing that, you know. And again, it could have been 5 people that, you know, that I increased, and it's like those 5 people connected with it and wanted to keep watching it, you know. And so it's cool to just connect with people. Again, it could be 5, 10, 10,000.
Definitely could relate to that. There's like no crazier feeling than the whole room word for word singing your song to you. Like, it's just like, no, I don't know. It's happened maybe 5 times. Okay, I'll just make it 5 times. And just the fact that it was like, you know, capacity is like 800 here, and they're all screaming that.
That's crazy.
Word for word. It was
Where
like you said, you could just. And at the time, I was like, no, I'm not skipping no steps. I'm singing.
I'm doing it. And then now you're just like, I don't have to.
Like, I don't have to. You can.
Yeah, I can relate to the feeling of it. Yeah, the feeling of being relatable right now. That's probably what, if anything, I'm chasing the most. Like, whatever I'm dropping, I got to make sure it's makes sense to who I am right now, as who I've grown into, and then what's going on in the landscape. It just can't be too crazy. Like, too different what's going on. I mean, we could do it, but budget want to be indie? Budget.
Yeah, it's very key. Very key. Very key. It's tough sometimes, but it is key.
Yes,
it's important. It is just part of the game, especially indie. You know, you get a label, just be careful, read the contract.
Oof.
Don't get stuck.
Good cheat code is like trying to play the industry plant game right now. Just have like 20 songs in the vault. Don't even have your artist name ready. Don't even have an Instagram. Just have like 5 ideas of what your artist name and your Instagram will be. And go to a label and label shop that. Shop the music that you have and like your idea of what you look like. Bro, they want nothing more than to just like
be able to manipulate.
Push the button. Exactly.
They want to be able to carve
they
you.
Want nothing. If you're like willing for that, oof.
Yeah. Because then they could just, you know, craft it however they want. They don't have to worry about somebody pushing back or no. This is.
I mean, even though the feel is now that you need to have your own 100,000 followers, you need to have your own million following. There are still people that slip through with great music, aka 4 Bats, aka there's a plethora of other artists that have like snuck through, but just having good music and just doing the work. Or you've never heard of these people before, and that's usually what it is. Their managers or the artists themselves are working themselves in label meetings and playing that game. So like relationships again, it's just relationships. Knowing the right DJ that's gonna put you in the right room at the right label, that you can be like, hey, I have 3 songs. That's all I have.
And they'll take
more than that. Yeah, I have like 30 more, but these are the only 3 I'm showing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, be strict with it, but
no, it makes sense. It makes sense. But that's true. That's how the game is now. It's like people, again,
everything's fast.
Fast. If you want to get it, that's kind of the cheat code of how you can get there. If you want to just, I guess, I don't know if you would say surrender.
It's just using
the
tools available.
Right. No, I agree. I agree. That's just one of the ways to do it. You kind of surrender
like going back to budget, it doesn't have to be huge. You know what I mean? Like put $10 into something.
You could put the budget in all of making the actual music at that point. You know what I'm saying? And then working on what you look like. So that way, when you step in that room, you give the star quality, and then you have the star quality that plays in the speakers.
It's true.
It's stark. It is. It's a lot.
It is. No, this has been dope, man. This has been super dope. Thank you for coming, for real.
Yeah, gems?
Yeah.
I know, it's going to be fun clipping all this together because there's so many different things I could plug in there. So, but that's what this is about, man. Just having a conversation and just hopefully inspiring somebody to take the time to grow and to learn, like we've been talking about all night.
I like
That's really all it is. And like we say, connections through conversations, how we can connect people, and obviously, hopefully, connect people who may not know you. Which again, this is mass.
It's not going to be a lot.
No, should already know. Let's call a spade, but very humble.
Once again,
appreciate
I am your next door neighbor. Like,
it. Yeah, fair. But yeah, hopefully, just connecting people. That's what this is about. It isn't about, I honestly, like, truthfully,
This reminds me of where 21 Plus and all those songs.
Hey,
were recorded.
let's
It was
go.
in a
Basement.
finished basement, just like this.
hey, perfect, beautiful. Like, honestly, like, I don't, because I gotta like re-get the login for it, but I honestly like don't know how many people are listening to this on like Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. Like, I really,
You should.
I should, because
Just check it once a month.
well,
check it all the time.
because so what had happened was
Can you
before
give
we
me
wrap,
the
I'm
admin
giving
stuff?
no. So what happened was, so I had the original email for the podcast, which was like kind of like one of those. I tried to make it unique, but then it ended up in my brain being way more complicated than it needed to, and then after having like one of these a meeting with somebody and kind of like just discussing everything and learning, I made it more just structurally sound of just rightmindpodcast@gmail.com, which obviously you've seen. So then I ended up deleting the old email off of Gmail. So then now I don't have the access to. So I may have to like recreate that email.
Genius.
And then, the same way, and then just request a password reset so that it goes, and then I can refresh everything. But I say that to say, not because I don't care about the analytics, but the reason why I do it isn't for the analytics of if 5 people are listening and connecting versus, I mean, who knows? We may have more people listening to it than I know about.
I checked my impressions the other day. It was like 12,000 impressions in the last 30 days. I have not posted in months.
yeah.
Like, how is that happening?
That was like us with
It's like, what?
was
Post
it?
on my story once every 2 weeks or something like that. Like, there's
Drained.
nothing on my.
Yeah.
There's
That was
nothing
like-
on there now, and
Oh,
I'm on
yeah.
a podcast. I should have said that I'm going on a podcast.
No,
Right,
that's okay.
right.
We'll tag you on the stuff.
Yeah,
Stop
for sure.
posting.
But that was like us with we have a song called Drained, and I ended up just pulling up Spotify for artists just randomly.
Yeah.
Just kind of just scaling back and checking
Because if I get in my head, at some point it was like a crazy number, and then the week after I looked at it, it was like 10,000 less. I was like, I'm never looking at this again.
Yeah, right. And it had like what 800, 900 plays within like the past week, and we were like, wait, like we haven't promoted it. We dropped the album like a year prior to that, and I was
you
like,
did like the analytic search and try to figure out where it's coming from. You'll be able to find where it's coming from because you're indie, and then throw your Google ad money in that.
Oh, that's
Where it's being played the most. So you look at your analytics to see where it is, and then you throw your ad money in those areas.
that's true. Yeah. That makes sense.
another gem.
Sorry. A lot of gems.
Hey,
Sorry.
I'm not trying to be a
Google.
gatekeeper. Yeah, that's true too.
Shield your ears. No.
Yeah, shield your. I'm just gonna mute from
rated R.
like from 1 hour and whatever we're at right now.
Language.
1 hour 57 minutes. We are at an hour 17.
Really?
An hour 17. It's 8:23 right now. Usually
for
roll
us.
till like 8:30 or so. But I mean, I think
We're in our right mind.
I am definitely in my right mind right now,
You?
for sure.
Almost.
Uh-oh. Now you got me second guessing my job. What have we done? How do we get C sharp? How do we get C flat into C sharp? How do we do it? I need to know the cheat code to get there. No, this has been really cool, man. This is like another one of those things where like I can leave as I usually do of just like, man, that was such a good combo.
Right. I feel like I learned a lot today. Thank you for
Such a
being our
good-
I
guest.
feel like I talk too much, but
No.
I mean, we're here for you.
I know, like you are the
we're not
guest
here
that
for
you
me.
got.
We're not here for me. It's not here's C sharp, but we're just gonna let JFA talk the whole time. It's not why we're here. Not today, at least. Maybe when we have a team pod, I'll try to take over. But
Music is life.
Well, this is the only time you talk.
That's also true. That's also true. Like literally, yeah, the camera will be cut, the mic will be off, and you won't hear a word from me except, all right, peace, man, have a good one.
I feel like that's also why God put me with you, so I can learn how to listen more. But we'll see how that is.
So it's like a give and take. Like your volume goes down, mine goes up.
Yeah, literally, because you're so chill and I'm so not. So I was like, all right, shut up. You are so rude. Oh my God.
That's why you're here. That's why we're all here. It's a yin and a yang type of thing. We kind of mesh it all together, so
Love
it
you
works.
too.
I love that you guys go to Frank's church.
Who?
The church in Lowell.
Oh, I was like, who's Frank?
Sorry.
No, it's
The
okay.
dad. It's
Oh, okay.
That was Frank. Sorry.
Oh yeah, because you did you? Well,
Yeah, I know the pastor.
yeah, that's right.
Or Ephraim.
Yeah.
Ephraim, yeah.
What a small world.
Yeah, seriously. That's crazy. Yeah. Eric, pastor now.
Yeah, Eric.
Cool dude.
He's a wicked talented musician too.
Yeah. Only he knows.
I'm gonna have to show him that now.
He knows.
Be like, by the way,
He's
so
gonna be
you
like,
know-
wait, you have. Yep.
Nice. I'm gonna show him that. I'm gonna show him that later after. Be like, hey, little clip. Yeah. Well,
I said church kids.
that's true. Yeah.
Church
Yeah. Especially in this area.
Lawrence, he grew up in Lawrence. Stuff like that.
That's right. You went to Lawrence High. Duh.
Middle and high.
Yeah, but
Right next
Ranger?
door. Right next door. Yeah.
Ranger word.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Lowell Catholic.
Greater Lowell. So
Lowell?
yeah.
Word.
Yeah. I almost went to Lowell Catholic. Almost. I got accepted and everything, but I was
Oh,
like,
we could have been besties in high school.
but I was like, meh. 2 Catholic schools in a row. I don't know. I went to Franco before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 9
Oh,
years.
dude, I didn't
9
want to
years
take
in free-
MCAS and I didn't want gym, so I was like, Lowell Catholic, here I come.
Hey.
Who wants to be okay? So, like, what if you had gym first period and then you're gonna sweat your ass off and then have to sit through the rest of your classes all day? Hell no.
That's fair.
I'm sorry. I not
fair.
to sound like a diva, but I'm like, I don't want that.
That's not for me.
I'm all set with that. Thanks.
No, we had Project Adventure.
I
that
did.
was
It got
fun.
me where I am today. You can
Okay,
too.
life with a Y. Okay.
We used to sneak off and during lunch and go play like a game of basketball. Probably shouldn't have, but we would just sneak off. We'd play like quick tournaments. We'd have like keep tabs on like which teams were winning and stuff, and then we'd like run back in, sweating, dripping sweat.
You guys were like good high school students. Like I would sneak off during lunch and like go smoke behind the dumpster. Do you know what I mean? Like you guys were like
You guys were playing organized sports. I was,
I was like, y'all were like great students. You were like
cigarettes.
I was literally I was like in my school
regret
skirt, like ripping butts. Like it was not it was
nice, yeah.
little baby K. Yeah.
Yeah, big difference. Middle school, I got in trouble for actually talking in class, which is probably why I'm so quiet now.
That's
Because
so
I
crazy.
was tired of getting detentions for speaking.
And the only child, so we probably got yelled at crazy for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mama Dukes was.
The trauma's real.
I feel like I started getting in trouble in school in 5th grade and I just never stopped.
Yeah, that's about when I started to.
Yeah, that's when I got my first detention.
I told you about that time I almost got a detention and I like freaked out because I was afraid I was gonna get the power of mom.
Yeah, I
coming.
get it. I'm like still scared of my mom. It's okay. Like I
Oh
get
yeah,
it.
same. She's sitting right
I get
upstairs.
it.
No,
I
I'm
know.
all set.
That's fine.
All set. All set.
Yeah, I'm like I read. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm all set. Lessons learned, and here we
Yeah.
are.
Good times.
Good times. Well, geez, I just realized how poor my posture is. Like, I just like realized how sunk in I got because I
Listen.
took these pillows out because I was about to do
Listen.
like a close, and I was like, "This is a horrible position to do a close." I mean, I will say I'm pretty comfortable, but
You're comfortable. You're in your own home, but I
yeah.
see myself on camera sometimes, and I'm like,
dear God.
I've had people be like, "Wow, you look really comfortable," and I'm like, "Please don't tell me that. Like, that's not a good thing. Like, that's not like no, that's not a compliment."
Yeah, because my back and hips say otherwise when I'm walking around. Yeah,
Right.
like I am not walking in the way that I should
Because
because
that I've needed to go. Now, okay, so I can.
yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. That too.
Bye, Jay.
No.
Hey, at least the mic didn't knock over. We're making progress.
I know.
Episode 101. Episode 101, Life has officially stopped dropping mics. Appreciate it.
Well, he's now helping me set up my mic.
It's growth moments,
Growth.
man. Growth moments, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody that has been tuning in. I want to say God bless to everybody. I want to say thank you to our guest, C Scharp, in the building for episode 101. God bless to everybody. But until next time, my name is Jay Faith.
Life
We
with
got-
a Y.
It's your girl Kayla.
And we got
CSCHARP, C Sharp.
and this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?
Brah, brah, brah.